All right, we're back.
We are back.
Again.
Regardless
if people want us here. NerdPoint show.
Yeah, we're probably not wanted. It's cool.
But Venom trailer 2 came out.
Venom trailer 2.
It was fucking... initial reaction, right?
Yeah, let me check on something real quick, actually. I'm just going to make sure that we're actually recording. Yeah, okay, we're good.
Oh.
I don't know why. It's just this time I'm a little paranoid about it.
It's all good.
I think the battery's dying in our remote, so it's kind of just a little paranoid. But initial thought on the Venom trailer, I was a little underwhelmed. I was like, meh. My initial thought was, meh.
Almost like it wasn't... What they showed us wasn't needed.
Not that. I mean, I think it was important. I think they showed us a lot more, but I also think that... I feel like I just got exactly what I expected. I didn't get any more surprise. I didn't get any more,
They kind of ruined it.
No, I didn't get a kick out of it. It just wasn't... It was exactly what I thought it would be. And I was only left with disappointment due to the fact that they didn't shock me. There wasn't any shock value in it.
Well, I think that also comes from the fact that they...
we got to see a whole new symbiote, so, that should have been cool, but it just,
Because we knew it was going to be there.
Yeah.
That's what they ruined it.
And I think the deal is we expect what's going to happen within a certain number of trailers. You can break it down with Batman v Superman trailers. It gives the obvious, the next trailer they show will probably show most of the movie. We'll probably have seen a good amount of the movie by then. They did that.
You can kind of break down what the movie's...
the exact route it's taking.
Yeah.
And we even kind of look at that here in a sec. But, well, not exactly here in a sec. But I know, just initially, I was I'm not too... I'm still going to see the movie. I'm still excited. But, I'm not as excited as I was at the first trailer when we didn't even see Venom. I was more excited from that trailer. I still get more excited at that trailer.
That trailer was pretty good.
Because there's surprise. There's shock value to it. It builds intensity.
Yeah. And, you're not...
This was a release of tension.
Almost like people were so scared of how they were going to do Venom, they felt like they needed to, show more.
No, I don't think it has anything to do with that. Okay. I don't think anything on this has to do with the studio thinking we need to show more of this because people are, freaking out. I think the studio has their plans. I think everything they've shown has... I don't think it has anything to do with audience reaction. I think it all has to do with just their own plan and what they have going on. And maybe that should be what they do, is gauge the audience. Because, maybe with the first trailer, people were mad they didn't see anything. But, I loved that first trailer. It looked intense. It looked real.
I think they should have left it there.
I liked seeing more of Tom Hardy than I liked seeing anyone else. I liked seeing that more than I liked seeing the CGI symbiotes. So, a little more of that would have been nice.
I have the whole slogan of trust in Hardy.
Yeah, Tom Hardy won't put his name behind something. We've said this before. He won't put his name behind something that he's not fully confident in, and I understand that. And I'm sure it's going to be a good movie. I'm just saying the trailer left me really underwhelmed and not all that excited. There's things I'm excited about, but the whole trailer as a whole, I watched it once at 6 at 6 or 7 a.m. today. I woke up, and I was just what? Maybe it was because I was tired. The second time I watched it, I was both times.
Did you think the international trailer was any better?
Yeah, so there's some small differences in the international trailer versus the other one. I didn't see much more in it that I thought was all that impressive. Honestly, I might have just not even seen the other trailer. I might have just seen the international one.
So, James, my boss.
Yes.
That we've had on before.
Oh, if you're skipping it.
No.
Okay.
This is something else. He has a theory that there's a Red Band trailer.
Oh, okay.
Also coming out. Here in the next few days, probably.
I would like that.
With a little more blood. You actually see him bite a face off.
Interesting.
Would that do it for you?
Maybe, because it did feel like there wasn't much, to the whole thing. A lot of it felt staged in a way, and I'm cool with it. A Red Band trailer would do me better, personally, I think, because, they worked with Deadpool.
Do you think it's going to be rated R? Like,
The movie?
yeah,
Or the trailer?
all like the movie.
I'm pretty sure the movie's confirmed to be rated R.
Well, it hasn't got a actual rating yet.
Okay.
So it's still up in the air. Sony makes some weird decisions.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be rated R.
I am too, but Sony, man, Sony scares me.
I don't see how it doesn't have a rating yet. Seriously, doesn't. Wow. That throws me the fuck off. Like, why would they...
Why would they even, like, try not to make it rated R?
Why would they try to avoid that? Like, I don't think it... And I'm not saying it would be bad otherwise. I'm just saying I don't think it... There's a lot to work with there. And a character like Venom, if you're not going to make him a rated R movie, then they might as well just give him to the MCU.
I'm with you.
Like,
yeah.
At that point, it's a waste. Like, the point of Sony keeping these characters is, one, so they can make money, but also so they can do it in ways that the MCU won't. And I think that that's important, and I think that it better be rated R, otherwise it'll be a waste.
So, what do you think Sony's even doing with all these characters right now? Like, it's so weird. They don't have Spider-Man, technically.
Well, actually, the funny thing is they can use them. But the world they've set up, like, when we see the overshot of the sky in of the city in the trailer, it's supposed to be San Francisco or something, or maybe they've made up a city for it, but I'm pretty sure it's San Francisco.
It's San Francisco.
It really reminds me so much of The Amazing Spider-Man, and that's just due to the fact that they're both Sony. But there was a big theory a while ago that it takes place in that universe. And in that case, it would make a little more sense the path they're going. They go edgier, darker, really different with origins and stuff like that. I could see it fitting better in that universe than the MCU. But I think what they're doing is they're building a lot of these side characters, like more
Silver Sable,
Mobius the Vampire, yeah.
Jared
Black
Leto,
Cat, yeah, all these things like Venom and Eddie Brock, and they're gonna have Carnage eventually. I think they're trying to build these in a way that will increase the popularity of these characters, but also I just don't see how it works without Spider-Man. That's my only issue.
Me too.
They'll probably bring him back. They'll probably snag him back somehow. I don't think they'll do it. Honestly, I don't think they'll do it with Tom Holland.
Yeah.
I don't know how. I just don't think Tom Holland would be on board with that.
I would love if somehow they just brought Andrew Garfield back.
That's what I'm saying is that it fits that universe better. It'd be cool if we could have two Spider-Men on screen. That nothing fights that in the contract they have.
And
it doesn't say they can't.
We talked about last episode. There's 4 Robins literally technically on screen.
Yeah.
And maybe a 5th coming.
Mm-hmm.
True. So it would be really cool. But all right, the one thing that I'm upset about in the trailer.
Yeah, you're upset about this, and I'm actually not too... I'm usually the guy to be upset about this, I think.
I just feel like Sony always finds a way to fuck up Spider-Man characters.
But what are you upset about?
It's when there's this scene where the main villain dude that's in charge of the whole thing puts his hand up to the glass, and it's like...
Oh!
He's introducing
I thought you were talking about something else. Okay,
No.
Yeah, go ahead.
Why does it go for his ass?
I don't honestly think it is. I think you're really reading into that one scene a little too much.
Dude, it's clearly going for it.
I mean, okay, if you were a symbiote, what would you go for?
Not the ass.
You don't go for that anyways?
But it just took me out of the trailer.
What's more scary than something going in your ass?
It's pretty scary, but...
It should put you in the, like, wow, that guy is pissed. Like, so here's the deal. I just think that's... I don't... Honestly, because the symbiote can be absorbed through the skin. It can, like... I think them doing that is just a... Like, the symbiote coming out of his mouth. I think that's just a thing they do. I don't think it's going in anywhere. I think it's just being absorbed into his skin. Whatever it is, it didn't affect me. I think it's just...
I just noticed it.
I don't think it's worth, like, not that it's not worth the thought. I just don't think it's worth reading into too much as the fact that what's really meant to draw your attention is it's coming out of his mouth.
I didn't even notice that. I just noticed it going up his butt.
And quit staring at his butt.
They showed it. It was the main picture at the time.
Anyways, move on.
The CGI.
Okay, the CGI.
That's where I was going with this whole thing. Do you think it's finished?
Okay, so we talked about this briefly. I'm not saying it's not finished. There's always more work to do on CGI, especially when trailers are being released. And the movie's not coming out for a little while longer. 2 more months?
Yeah.
Technically, because it's now officially August.
They waited like a month before Green Lantern to be like totally done with all that CGI.
Yeah. So here's the deal. I think the CGI is not all finished. I will say the last scene of the trailer, it looks like it's all finished to me. You disagreed. You said it looked unfinished.
I think when the face splits at the end,
I think that's finished.
I think
it gives a mystical vibe. It gives a science fiction vibe.
Yeah.
And the movie's technically a science fiction movie.
I think it can be a little touched up.
I think there's always little tweaks to do. I think for the most part, a lot of it's finished on that end. I think the action scenes are where a lot of the CG is unfinished. I noticed that those scenes in the trailer, a lot of it looked slightly unfinished. Like when Riot's ripping the jaw of Venom, like that looks a little unfinished. And then when they're both separated out of their symbiotes are like kind of crazy outside them, you can see the, Tom Hardy and the villain's face. That looks slightly unfinished. Maybe it's just too hard to see. I think for the most part it looks really good. I'm actually impressed with the CG.
I think probably there could be a little touch up on that.
I mean,
that last scene.
Compare it to the very first look. Like that was rough.
But I'm totally in agreement with the fight.
Yeah.
But I have the theory that it's not complete at all because this trailer was said not to have completed CGI at San Diego Comic-Con.
Well, they might have changed it up a little and then released the trailer because it looks a little better than those obviously they took shitty images but it looks a little more finished. It looks than some of the leaked stuff.
Oh yeah, but I think San Diego Comic-Con people.
Oh, they never have finished CGI. Have you seen?
It's messing it up a little bit though.
Have you seen the original San Diego Comic-Con footage of Venom in Spider-Man 3?
No.
Oh my god, it looks so different and awful. Actually, it looks a lot like this, to be honest. How shiny it is.
Oh god.
I'll show you later. It's hilarious.
Oh no, actually, I think I've seen that.
Yeah, it looks really gooey and shiny and gross, and it's totally not finished. It's so far beyond how it originally looked. So I'm saying it's possible. I think for the most part it looks how it's going to look. I don't think they'd release it without it looking pretty close.
This is what I was saying is I think San Diego Comic-Con is actually messing it up for these trailers because they rush out to make sure to be a part of this whole event. And then after everybody starts talking about it and the internet gets a hold of it, then the studio feels like it needs to put it out.
You don't think they prepare?
And then they rush it.
You don't think they prepare for Comic-Con with footage?
Obviously not if the CGI's not finished for the trailer.
Well, no, but that's just a movie standpoint. They don't have to go to Comic-Con and release these panels. This is all their choice.
I think they have to at this point. If they didn't go to...
Well, what I'm saying is they're not legally obligated to.
Oh, yeah.
So they don't have to do this. They do this because they want to give the fans some taste of something. So whether it's finished or not, I don't think they feel rushed by any means because the movie's going to release when it releases. People are going to go see it no matter what. Especially with the release date being October 5th. The movie has no competition. That's the best time to release it. It will be the biggest movie of that weekend.
It's gonna be it's gonna probably do great. But what I'm saying is obviously they weren't prepared because the CGI wasn't finished for San Diego Comic-Con, and then
that's saying no movie has finished. It was prepared.
What do you mean?
That's like saying any movie with CGI though they're never prepared.
No, there was unfinished things.
There's always unfinished things though.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying, though, is I don't see how that has anything to do with...
Aquaman was finished.
No, it was not. It was not totally finished. There's always tweaks they do. Color code, whether it's color corrections or tweaks to lots of Atlantean stuff. I could point out things in that trailer that don't look finished. A lot of the sharks. You remember the shark scene?
Yeah.
With the glass? That shark didn't look finished.
Okay.
I'll say that for sure. And I think things like that are... I think that they're prepared, they're aware, and I think them not having fully finished CG isn't them being unprepared. They're fully aware it won't be finished by then. They're just releasing it because why wouldn't they? I don't think it has anything to do with them feeling rushed or anything. I think they're totally on track.
All right.
With especially the time frame they've released the movies.
All right.
I think so. Or the trailers, I mean.
I beg to differ with the whole fact that I think San Diego Comic-Con and the internet has changed it all. They need to put it out after they release it so that the internet can't just speculate and they can show it and it makes them feel rushed. And
Maybe.
agree to disagree on this one.
Maybe. I don't think they feel rushed by any means.
It's cool.
There might be pressure, but I don't think it's like, come on, pick it up and do it. I think it's just like, hey, you should do this because, like, they want more. In that case, give the fans what they want.
Yeah, and maybe pressured is the better term.
Yeah,
but
rushed is like they're being pushed into it. The movie will fail otherwise. I think they're just kind of like, hey, maybe do this, you know?
Yeah, but we'll agree to disagree on that, and let's move on to this whole theory that you have.
Yeah, so I kind of have this idea that... Okay, so it's important to think about how Tom Hardy and the symbiote are two separate beings. They come together, they're Venom at that point.
Well, and they do the whole... That was one of my favorite moments in the trailer, is when
The half face.
No, when Venom, like, comes out, and he talks to Eddie.
Oh, yeah. That's actually really cool. That's a cool moment that I don't think I've seen that in the comics ever.
No, it is.
It is? Okay,
Oh,
I
yeah.
personally haven't read a comic where I see it. I think it's really cool. I think it's probably a fairly newer thing in the comics for the most part. I mean, it's probably only been done...
Don't quote him on it.
Yeah, don't quote me on that. But the deal is I think that it's important to realize these are two separate things. They both have a common goal. They come together. They become one thing for that purpose. You got to think about, in terms of the villains, they have the same ideals. Like, not as them, but the villains also have a common goal in a way. Maybe Riot's kind of, I just want to cause destruction. But also, the corporation Eddie Brock is going after, they want destruction. I mean, they're fucking with symbiotes. So, I find it really important that Eddie Brock and the Venom symbiote, have this relationship. But Eddie Brock has his own battle. The symbiote also would have its own battle. I think that the symbiotes and the Venom symbiote, so the Riot symbiote and all the other ones, will have a prior relationship somehow with the Venom symbiote. Like, I don't want to say they all know each other, but there's a prior connection other than being from the same planet. I don't want to call it a rivalry. You compared it to that. I wouldn't say that. I would go as far as to say there's a prior relationship that we may or may not be given context to that explains why Venom is going after these symbiotes.
And
he thinks it's a bad idea. Because why else would they be pitted against each other? If anything, Venom symbiote would be on their side. There's something there.
And, yeah, we talked about, like, maybe the planet of the symbiotes, and, like, they were all fighting there, and somehow they got transferred here. But I like the whole thing that we were talking about, where they're similar things, just kind of a little different, but the main goal...
What do you mean? Gotta
the
symbiotes.
symbiotes.
Okay.
The symbiotes are the same thing and have the same goal, but they're different. So they want to eradicate each other so they can become the main, like, virus or parasite.
Which symbiotes are you referring to in this?
All of them.
So you think all the symbiotes are pitted against each other? Or
Yeah.
Oh.
None of them like each other.
Okay, I didn't see it that way, actually. I
That-
saw
that-
it more as Venom versus the other 5 or 4, whatever it was.
I bet you they all hate each other because they all want to be the main parasite. Because what does a parasite want to do?
Fair. I mean, that's an interesting theory. I hadn't thought of it that way. Honestly, I think it's going to be Venom versus the 5 or the 4.
That'd be interesting.
I would prefer that, but it's still an idea that they could all be fighting. 2 of them end up taking each other out. I think that's a cop-out in story and plot, but, like...
I only think they introduce us to Riot, though. I don't even think we see that many. But you think,
I think we see the others. I'm pretty sure. We see at least one other, I'm sure.
You think that they're going to come out and he's going to fight a few of them, right?
I'm pretty sure. I think he'll probably take out a few pretty easily, and then Riot's kind of the big bad. I'm not sure, though. Like, being honest, we haven't really seen... Why would they only show us Riot?
I don't
know. It could be for a fun reveal, or it could be because Riot's the only villain.
I mean...
It's an idea.
I would hope that there's at least one other one that we're not too familiar with, like Screech. I think that might be her name.
I think it's Scream, actually.
Scream.
Don't quote me on that.
It's the yellow one.
I thought
and we saw yellow on one of the symbiotes.
Yeah. And I think that was actually the Riot symbiote, to be honest. I think it actually was. Even though the Riot symbiote's supposed to be a little more silver.
Oh.
I forget what it was in the comics, but I think it's silver in the movie, supposedly.
It would be really cool if he had to go through all the symbiotes and got to Riot and then wasn't able to, that was the big challenge.
The big bad, yeah.
That's the person he had to destroy. But I'm really just hoping we get one other one, other than Riot.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's going to be a lot of symbiote involvement. I mean, I think I think Riot's a good choice for the villain.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an iconic story they're telling. The only thing I wish was it was a little more, like, we talked about the whole Spider-Man thing, and it's kind of hard for them to do comic accuracy without that. There's obviously no white spider symbol on his chest.
Do you like the veins? I thought it looked really good, even with his hand, and like it looked kind of
I wanted
like
the squares on his hands.
That would be really,
or like blotches.
But they did really good. I thought they did a pretty decent job with that.
The veins are cool. I think they actually overdid it a little.
All right.
I think a little more in the chest, centered, and then spread out. I think big in the chest, spread out would have been a lot better. I could have substituted that for a spider symbol. But it feels like it's all just veins everywhere. It doesn't feel centered. My only issue.
We'll see where they end up going with that.
It could evolve over time. That's what I've heard. It could totally evolve over time.
And
Venom's a changing symbiote.
So we've went a little long on this.
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah. But I want to give a shout out to my buddy James Winzel.
Yeah.
He had a great theory on the end of the trailer.
Yes.
And he always has some pretty good ones. Mm-hmm. We miss him today. We were trying to have him on.
I was really excited to have him on too.
But life happens.
Yeah.
But he believes the final scene of the trailer is actually the final scene in the movie.
Yeah. So let's explain the scene where we see Eddie Brock turn into Venom. We see the half face thing where they say we are Venom.
You'll be a turd in the wind.
Yeah, which honestly I couldn't understand Venom for a lot of it.
Yeah,
I couldn't hear a lot of the dialogue. They'll probably change it up a little, but you can tell it sounds more like Tom Hardy.
Sean Connery after it's all done.
But anyways, that scene, he eats the guy probably robbing the store's face, head. He's just talking mad shit, eats him. Tom Hardy leaves, kind of just confident, like, whatever, fuck it, you know.
I caught a parasite.
Yeah, I caught a parasite later. Like, really casual, a little funny, but very casual. It would definitely deem well that that's the last scene of the movie because we see both the Venom symbiote and Eddie Brock's face.
Yeah.
They both say we are Venom. It's almost acceptance. He's like,
yeah,
fuck it, we're one now. Like, I don't have a choice. I'm come to terms with it. And then he walks off like no big deal. Like, it's all casual. He's not stressed. Like,
have a good night, Miss Chin.
It's the beginning of his anti-heroism, you know?
Yeah.
I like that idea.
I do too. And
that would be really cool. I'm actually down with that theory. I'm usually down with his theories. That's a really good theory. How he thought of it, I don't know. Where it comes from in his head, no clue.
Dude, that's why we have him on.
Yeah.
And we're going to get him back on as soon as possible when it lines up.
Yeah. Maybe when we actually see the movie, we'll bring him with.
Yeah. Oh.
That's a good idea.
Let's have him come review it with us.
Yeah, that'd be really fun.
Yeah. The last one, though, Carnage.
Carnage. So we don't see Carnage. We both kind of have a theory that we won't till the very end. I have a fun theory that the aftermath of the battle between Riot and Venom is going to be the creation of Carnage. I think it's pretty fair to say that. It's a safe bet, but I'll just say fuck it, I'm betting that. I don't think Carnage comes from anywhere else other than maybe Venom or Riot. It'd be cool if it was Riot. I know that's not exactly accurate. It comes from Venom in the comics.
But that would make a little more sense.
It would make more sense for the story, I think. Like, Venom thinks he's beat Riot. A little comes off of him, like a little bit of the symbiote goes on to, hopefully, Woody Harrelson.
That's the big thing.
Yeah,
like,
I would love it.
Who is Woody Harrelson? He's got to be him. Like,
I know, he's got it. I would love it. I think he's not even confirmed, like, his role in the movie isn't confirmed yet.
It's so mysterious. Like, it's got to be Woody, right?
I would hope so.
It'd be a waste.
It would be a waste. Like, you have to get a big name actor like that, and, like, he's perfect for that role, to be honest.
Dude, I've seen, I forget, Psycho. I think that's the name of the movie.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I don't think, was he in Psycho?
He played, I'm totally spacing it. He plays like a fucking murderer. Like,
I don't think it was in Psycho, but okay.
Yeah, I'm missing the title.
Yeah.
But Woody Harrelson's like,
dude, he's crazy.
Up there in acting, dude.
Yeah, I mean, he's done it all.
Yeah.
I mean, he's perfect for this role. And he's a redhead, kind of.
Well,
like,
you put a
accuracy.
wig on him.
Well, it doesn't matter.
He's losing his hair.
Yeah, fuck it. He can play a serial murderer.
I love it. I think that it's going to be at the very end. Like, maybe after...
very end.
So
maybe even
have
a post-credit scene.
I have a theory that it's going to be, like, one of the symbiotes that they haven't got a chance to experiment with because it's so violent.
Oh, that'd be cool. I would actually like that.
And after the aftermath of Riot and Venom's fight, it gets out.
Oh.
And then we see it bonding with Woody.
I would almost like that better than my theory. I like that. That's cool.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool. I'd be cool with either one. I always love the accuracy of comics, so I want it to come from the other symbiotes, but I like your idea.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I would be down with if at the end of the fight one of them had a part of them and it became something else.
Yeah.
But
That'd be
kind of like there's something about that. Carnage was kind of too dangerous to like mess with because it would just
He's
fuck
more
you.
violent, stronger than Venom for sure, crazier.
And the Spider-Man's not in there anyways, right? So
Fuck it.
books out the door.
Yeah.
Like, at that point. But let us know when you guys all think Carnage will show up, if he does at all, or if it's even going to be Woody Harrelson.
Or what the origin you think is, where he comes from.
Yeah.
If he does.
We'll give a shout out for that one. You can follow us on Twitter at NerdPoint Show.
Me at R2 Dillon.
Me at Mayhem_Ren. And we'll be back next time, boys.